Welcome back to the Superheroes Everyday Podcast. I'm Danny Horn. I'm here with Sloan, illustrator and creator of the Hauntwares clothing line. Hey, Sloan.
Hey.
This is Act 3 of the Michael Bay version of Transformers minus Transformers, 2014's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The story so far. Villainous tech exec Eric Sachs has teamed up with his father figure, an evil armor-plated Swiss Army knife salesman, to poison the population of New York City and then sell them a magic healing potion made out of fresh squeezed turtle juice. Things look bad for air quality standards in Big Town, but don't you worry. We've got a whole crew of highly caffeinated zoo animals who are currently driving in the direction of danger, and they are going to ninjafy this entire situation. So far, we have had 3 go-go-goes, and this movie is not over yet. Welcome to Act 3 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, the Turtles were not treated well, and I want to talk about that here for a minute, just because I think it's funny. There are 4 gentlemen in this movie who are playing the actual main characters, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They are on set. They are doing every scene, and except for one of them, they all do the voice too. So it's a full performance. You just can't see the human face. And apparently, they were treated really badly.
Oh.
People treated Megan Fox and Will Arnett like movie stars, which they are.
Yeah.
And then there was, I'm gonna say all of their names out of respect: Alan Ritchson, Pete Plushek, Jeremy Howard, and Noel Fisher. And people were basically racist to them because they were turtles. Alan Ritchson did an interview where he talked he talked about the day that they got left behind on set. Like, everyone else got a ride home and they left the 4 turtles behind.
Oh my God.
They weren't sent out on any promotional interviews. And they were counting on that because people don't see their face in the movie, but you want people to know this is what my face looks like, and the studio wouldn't let them do it. They actually told the press that the guys refused to do interviews.
What? Why?
Alan Ritchson also said that they weren't invited to the premiere, but then I looked at pictures from the premiere and they were all there, so I don't know what that's about. Now, I don't like to feel sad on behalf of gorgeous, successful people like Alan Ritchson, so I don't feel bad for them. For me, this is just backstage gossip. I just think it's funny.
You might not feel bad for them, but you certainly do frown at their treatment.
It's a weird thing to do. It's a super weird thing to do.
Yeah, just because they're big turtles.
Yeah, the title of the movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and these are the people who are playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they just treated them like they were like CGI sprites. It's so weird. And then they didn't want to do the second movie, but they had to, because they'd signed contracts for 3 movies. And luckily they only had to do 2 of them.
Luckily for all of us, they only had to do 2 of them because that means only 2 got made.
So there's a helicopter taken off from the heliport that's outside this secret lab mansion dojo with Sax inside, possibly Shredder as well. Good guys only have the van. Donatello does a sweep with his goggles, and I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
he's got like a heads-up display.
How it works either.
Yeah, but we like Donatello.
Oh yeah,
and
that's one of the things that I never could really square. Like, Donatello is supposed to be this super genius who can make anything from anything, but like, how do you get all of these like heads-up?
I don't know.
Like face-mounted displays.
Yep.
Like, we only just got that Apple Vision Pro.
The problem with screens. He figures out that they have lots of guns, just in time for them to take all of their guns and shoot at them again and again and again. And so the 4 turtles get shot at a lot. And then they stop. And they say, "Are you guys okay?" And then I forget who says it. Leonardo?
It doesn't matter.
We're bulletproof.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then Raphael is able to flex and pop all of the bullets that hit him in the chest.
I know.
Like, I can get that maybe
the shell.
Turtle.
Yeah.
The shell, yeah.
The shell you could see.
Thick. It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Even though Shredder stepping on Raphael was able to crack it.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, but
their front side, bullets? Their face and their hands and everything, they're bulletproof. The turtles are bulletproof. It's just a thing that we've decided is the case.
Yeah.
And so the fact that the mercenaries are armed with nothing but machine guns kind of dials down the drama at this point. But it means that they can all go rah and just beat up all the ninja mercs. And then Leonardo says, "Everybody in the truck, we gotta go, 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 move." So there you go, 4th go, go, go of the movie. I told you, I'm keeping track. They get in a truck and they find the keys, and then Raphael yells, "Drive!" So that's another drive. So they drive this truck, and then Karai and all the enemies, they get into Hummers and they yell, "Let's go," and move and stuff. And so Karai, now we're in a truck chase. We are up in the mountains, apparently. It's all snowy outside. It's clearly summer in New York City. But when you go to
Yeah.
Sax's place, there's snow everywhere. And this is going to be relevant in a minute. Karai is following the Turtles truck in these Hummers, and she shouts, "Jackal 1 Tango on your 12," which I like because on your 12 is like right in front of you.
Yeah.
There's again later in like a second, there's a shot from inside one of the Hummers, which is about 10 paces behind the truck, and somebody yells, "Target 12 o'clock." And it's like, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's a huge truck that has
You
talking
gotta stick
turtles
to
in it.
regs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm aware of what's happening at my 12 o'clock. The truck door is wide open in the back, so turtles are able to like fall out, jump back in, and do whatever they're gonna do. And they're talking about how to get back to sewer. And then one of the Hummers suddenly pulls out ahead of them, and a Merc is poking out of the top with a rocket launcher. How they manage that, I have no idea. The rocket hits the truck. As usual with mercenaries in action movies, they're just armed with everything, whatever they
Yeah.
want at the moment. Rocket hits the truck. There's a minor explosion. Truck goes out of control. Michelangelo's just hanging off the side. The truck skids and it comes to a stop on the edge of a cliff at the top of a very, very large hill.
Yeah.
More Merc showing up. April yells, "Vern, go, 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 go." Go, 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 number 5. Vern turns on the truck again, and he tries to go forward, but the truck starts sliding backwards, and the Mercs yell, "Go around, go, go, go." That is 3 different go, go, goes in about 90 seconds. So that made me very
Yeah.
happy.
Everybody gets one.
Yep. The truck starts to roll over where Leo is, and Donatello yells, "Move, move." And so that's some more moves. And then the movie just goes downhill.
Literally.
They are sliding down this mountain for 4.5 minutes. It takes them a very long time.
Well, I mean, there's all sorts of, bits of business while they're doing this.
Yes.
And it's like, not only does it go for the entire length of the mountain, but when they do finally get back to the sewers, it continues down the sewers. And you can only
Yeah.
assume that they slide all the way back to New York City.
Yes. Yes. It is so bizarre. We are not going to be able to describe this senseless sequence in any kind of adequate way. So we're just going to do like sense impression.
I mean, it's just lots of snow and fast.
This is the Michael Bay sequence. Like, this is how you know that you're in a Michael Bay movie. It's, for one thing, it's clearly an ad for Hummers. Like, they're just like kind of popping out. They're able to drive down this hill somehow. Leo gets hit by one of the Hummers and he just starts sliding. And so he starts snowboarding on his shell, which is actually super fun and is the only excuse for this sequence. I generally hate this sequence for lots of reasons, but I have to give it to him. Snowboarding on your own shell is cool.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really make much use of the fact that they're turtles throughout most of the movie, and now they kind of
Yeah, this
are.
is the one thing. Yeah, this is very specific to the turtles.
I did like the shell tobogganing.
Yeah, it's cool. The guys in the Hummers don't make any fucking sense. They're shooting these magic grappling hooks that are electrified. I don't know what
Yeah,
that is. They somehow seem to think that they can like spear the turtles, the
and it
bulletproof
doesn't make sense
turtles.
because it's really not even an impediment.
Yeah,
It's not really a threat because the turtles are still able to function while they're getting,
grappling
tasered
hooked.
by these.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Donatello, at one point, he's able to make a truck go up in the air with his stick.
yeah, which you would think would not be possible because
Yeah.
it's a stick that somehow manages to flip a Humvee.
Yeah. And Mikey, then he's on his super rocket powered skateboard and he just jumps from the top of a truck, which is rolling downhill, onto the top of a Hummer, which is rolling
Yeah,
downhill. And then the thing that makes me crazy is people are driving still.
yeah.
Like, do you actually need to keep driving when you're falling down a hill? I feel like the expectations ease up in that circumstance.
I mean, the giant Mack truck trailer that
Yeah.
that Vern and April are in should have rolled over and exploded minutes ago.
Yeah. Why is he still driving it? April falls out of the truck and she screams for Vern and he manages to like pull her in with one hand while he's still pretending to drive.
Yeah.
And then there's an avalanche, and the turtles are all sliding downhill.
Yeah, of course there's an
Yeah.
avalanche.
And they're still managing to have these like complex conversations as they're all like rolling downhill.
Well, not only that, but there's also that gross leering moment where April is bending out of the
Oh
window
my God.
and
Yeah.
just her ass is in the air. And Vern is like, keep doing what you're doing. Like he's trying to steer a Mack truck down the side of a mountain
I know.
while leering at Megan Fox's ass, because of course it has to be there at some point in the movie.
Yeah. Right. Yeah,
Like, what do you
exactly.
think all the guys paid to get into this thing?
So the ninjas are still trying to shoot them with their electric grappling hooks. And at this point, like, you're having a fatal accident right now. Like, you should not be concerning yourself with shenanigans.
It's a Michael Bay thing.
It's a Michael Bay thing.
Nothing makes any
I
sense.
know. So, and then it ends finally. You think that it wouldn't, but it actually finally does.
Kind of.
Kind of. And they end up like, I can't even describe it. They end up kind of hanging off the edge of the cliff. And then somehow later on, they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
And that's that. Yeah. So Sax gets to Sax Tower and he hooks up the turtle blood to a machine. And so that's a thing that's happening now. Everybody arrives in the tower parking lot somehow. There's like this little sprinkle of somehow, and now they're here. And they have to get up to the tower. And so they tell April and Vern to go upstairs to the lab. And she says, okay. They say, like, well, go and get the mutagen. And if you can bring it back to Splinter, then it could save his life, which doesn't make sense.
Because they know what the lab is, first of all.
Well, Donatello says his lab is on the 36th floor. I've already disabled the security system, which is fine. Fine.
Because somehow they know, yeah.
Fine. Sax is playing with the blood. It goes through the machine. He's getting green mutagen. He's very excited about it. But Leonardo has a plan. They are running down the hall and they round a corner and they see a huge warehouse full of mercenaries, like this entire army that's looking at them. And they go, rah! And they charge and they shoot. Everyone in this organization is very comfortable shooting machine guns in an enclosed space where there are people behind you who are also shooting machine guns.
Oh, no such thing as friendly fire.
No, they are very comfortable with that. Donatello hits some buttons on the wall and then steel doors close. This is all in Sax Tower, by the way. This is a public place. And all of these heavily armed men shooting in the basement that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
Sax's house and his office, they have these little pocket dimensions where there's just different stuff.
Also, they have the endless waves of henchmen.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah, no, I don't know how many we lost in the slide down the hill, but this is now another whole army of them.
I mean, you gotta wonder how they did the books on this. You know?
Yeah, what line item is machine gun bullets?
Or what line item is endless mercenaries?
Yeah.
Do all these people get paychecks? Do they clock in?
Also, all the ones that died, you gotta like write to their families and stuff.
Yeah.
That takes a while. Shredder's on the roof and he's doing something with a computer and it says initiating the toxin release procedure. And so
because that would be on the roof right next to it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you got to write it. That had not occurred to me, by the way, that like the toxin release is going to happen right up there, right above your head.
But you could just put it inside a room. It's a computer.
I know. It could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be in the building.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be in the state. Anyway.
Yeah, it's on the roof. It's on the roof outside.
Because you need to have that rooftop battle.
And then what do we have? The elevator scene.
A lot of people point to this as being a high point, like showing them as being showing them as being teenagers and brothers.
Yeah.
I thought any of the other cute little scenes did that vibe better. I honestly didn't really. I thought this was kind of annoying, frankly.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's a little bit cute. Like Mike is doing a little like beatbox rhythm and they all kind of join in. And it's all like wiki, wiki, wiki. And then the elevator doors. I am giving them a point for that because it's a musical number. And I think every movie should have a musical number.
Okay, fair.
I can't hate it. It's against my principles to hate on that.
Yeah, I guess it just kind of evens out to neutral for me.
I could see that. And then the turtles bafflingly end up and now they're fighting Shredder.
Because they knew he was up there with it. Was there any indication that he would have been up there
Maybe.
with the outdoors computer located
The
directly
outdoors computer. Oh, that's another point. You don't usually have your computer just outside in the elements. That's
No,
not
and
a
it
thing
didn't
you
look
usually
like it
do.
was like it doesn't look like it was brought up there. It looked like it was
It's just part
made
of
to be. Yeah.
this is everything is going to be so confusing from here on. Then there's the cowabunga scene where they say, like, remember that thing you used to say when we were kids?
And we told you not to.
Yeah, I've been holding it in. And Raphael goes, cowabunga.
You have to say cowabunga in a Ninja Turtles thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Pizza Hut. It's got to be there somewhere. It might as well be here.
Yeah.
April and Vern managed to get up to the lab. And Sax is there.
I think right there, April and Vern.
I know. Anything they do. Sax has a handgun and he's just shooting at them. Bang, bang, bangity, bang, bang.
You'd think he would have been able to pick up one of the machine guns.
Or just not do this. I don't know. And
Yeah.
so they're hiding, and he does this patronizing thing of like, seriously, you two are adorable, which is not as funny as he thinks it is. And then he just shoots some more. Upstairs on the roof, there's more fighting with the metal armor guy. On the ground, now there's like cop cars arriving. And so here's where we start seeing superhero movie New Yorkers looking up, which is what they do best.
Yeah. And they're actually having debris falling on them.
Yes. And superhero movie New Yorkers, they can deal with almost anything. They back up like 2 steps. And that's as far as they go. Yeah, that means they're really disturbed by something, is like they back up a little bit. And then there's the one-handed catches. There's so many one-handed catches. Like 2 of them are sort of, there's scaffolding that's mysteriously all over the roof. And so if you get kicked off the roof, you don't fall all the way down. You just automatically, you're just like hanging on to the scaffolding. That's a thing that happens in the movie. No one ever gets actually, like, until the very end, actually dropped. And so Shredder kicks Donatello off the roof, and then Leonardo, who's hanging on with one hand, catches him with his other hand. And there's going to be one-handed catches like that through the whole rest of the movie. This is all just like one big one-handed catch. Sax is shooting some more in the lab. He's clearly terrible at it because he shoots and he shoots and he shoots and he doesn't get anywhere near them. And then Vern motions towards this little button and a sign that says Halon abort. I don't know what that means.
No, I completely forgot about this.
Halon.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah. And so Sax is just doing more villain monologue. This is history repeating itself. Your father walked in on me, April, just like you did. Took a few less bullets to take him down, though. So for one thing, he means fewer bullets, not less bullets, for one thing. And he died in a fire.
Yeah.
You didn't shoot him.
No.
What the fuck?
And then April, for some reason, acts like she's just finding this out.
Yeah. You killed my father.
And becomes enraged.
Yeah.
Even though Splinter... Yeah.
That was beginning of Act 2.
Yeah.
Also, you killed your father by not saving him from the fire.
Like, this whole thing is the bullets doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He died in a
fire. Yeah.
Maybe he shot his burned up corpse.
I don't know what he did. So this is reshoots. Like, this is afterwards, because this is when, after they decided that Shredder and Sax would be 2 different people, they needed to have a death scene for Sax specifically. And so they had to add, I don't know what was here in place of this, but that was reshoots. More shit on the roof. Shredder turns on the 5-minute to toxin dispersal program.
Instead of just making it happen.
Yeah, it's got to have a countdown on it. There's a one-handed catch that absolutely violates physics, which is like Donnie and Leo are starting to fall, and Raphael is kind of like hanging down off the roof, and they start to fall, and Donatello like swings his stick up so that Raphael can catch it. And then he kind of like flips it, and they just like cartoon physics. And so there's this important question here. Like, I am being bothered by all of this like physics stuff, and the question is like, it's a cartoon though, dude. Like, can't you just enjoy like the fun of this?
No, because it's not really a cartoon. I mean, that's the whole point of it being live action, right?
Right. Yeah. Good point. Very good point. And yeah, I can't. And it's not just, this is not a refrigerator moment, I think is my point. That like, this is not something that I thought of afterwards of like, oh, wait, but how did they do that? Because if it's a refrigerator moment, you think about it afterwards, then like it's okay. Like you were enjoying it during the movie. No, this
Yeah.
is while I'm watching the movie. I'm like, wait, what? So, and then Mike wants to play Buck Buck. So they play Buck Buck, and Raphael says, "Yeah, no, we're gonna do what Leonardo says to do." So that's like a moment. That's a character moment if you want that.
Yeah, I guess.
Back in the lab, there's this baffling moment where Sax is gonna shoot April, and then Vern yells, "O'Neill!" And then Sax turns to shoot Vern, and then April turns on the halon, which I don't know what the halon is.
Yeah.
And it's like steam that shoots out of the ceiling, and then Vern just murders Sax with a blunt object, just pummels him, and he dies.
Oh, you love it.
And somehow Vern gets shot as well.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
I don't think they show him doing that. They just show him afterwards. They're playing Buck Buck up on the roof in slow motion. Everybody gets a chance to hit Shredder, and this time because it's slow motion, like they connect, and it actually
Yeah.
hurts him, and it goes on forever. And then Raphael pushes him off the side of the building, and then he says "Cowabunga" again. And we know that he's not gone because pushing somebody off the roof in this movie doesn't do anything. He has a one-handed catch down there. Vern is shot somehow, but he's okay. Like he's been shot in the shoulder, but he's acting like he's just been like sort of mildly inconvenienced. And
Yeah.
he says, "Look, just go get some help and take the mutagen with you." Why? Why? Leave the mutagen right here. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. They're not going to be bringing it back to Splinter yet.
I don't
I
know.
mean, and Sax is dead, so he's not going to be taking it anywhere.
Vern says, "Just go, go," which I just want to point out that is not a go, 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 and that does not count. I have very
No.
specific rules about this. I'll take a move, but a go, go is not, that's not enough. Donatello hanging out on the roof. There are 35 seconds to toxin dispersal, and he's doing kind of furious typing, triacting typing. Obviously, Shredder comes back up because the roof is all there is. There's nothing else. There's nothing outside of this roof anymore.
No.
And they get to toxin, and then it's 1 second. And guess what? Donatello wins. He
Even
actually
though it
manages to
already
stop it.
started dispersing before the countdown.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, there's some of it squeezed out, and I
Like,
don't
what's the point of the countdown if it's going to start
just start like
before
2
the countdown
seconds
is
before the countdown. It's just getting ready.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again.
Donnie's happy. It's a good thing. So Shredder uses his boomerang knives to like smash up the tower. And so then it's gonna, if it gets to the ground, it's gonna fall and it's gonna like contaminate like 10 blocks or whatever it's gonna contaminate.
Yeah, but it's like at that point, why bother? You know, because the whole scheme is that you're going to use this to like somehow swindle New
All
York
this
into
money.
funding your business.
Yeah, as opposed to just like this is a chemical spill that you are clearly causing.
Exactly, exactly.
But now this is a movie that's about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles holding up girders.
Yeah, because they can do that.
Yeah.
I almost feel like this was an unearned version of that classic scene from Spider-Man where he's got that
Right, where
giant
he's like, yeah,
grater.
yeah, he's got the, and he has to like push up.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know, I mean, they obviously they can't hold on. Donatello says they have like a 0.0000003% chance of
yeah,
succeeding. But you know what, Sloan, if you believe in yourself and you stay true to your friends, you can accomplish anything, as every movie has ever taught me.
yeah. I mean, you can't argue with precedent.
There's no way for them to win, but they say, you know what? I'm going to try anyway. And here comes terrible April O'Neil holding the mutagen, and she shrieks, "Shredder!" Which is awful.
Like, duh.
Yeah. And she says, "This is all that's left," which doesn't mean anything. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Shredder says, "Little girl, that belongs to me." Okay. At this point, people are just saying things. And then the tower falls. And New Yorkers are still standing there looking up at it as it's falling down on them. I am so proud of them.
I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't understand what it's like, okay, so they had the turtles holding up the tower
and it didn't
as
work.
a way to take up time in order for April to get to them,
I don't know. I do not know.
when they could have just written into the script where she came up like as the
Anyway,
fight
yeah,
was finishing, and there's just no.
I don't know. The answer to this question is I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can only, maybe it was to add a little bit more tension, but then again, it's like what you're. It's like hat on a hat on a hat on a raincoat on a fedora on a.
Yeah, it's hats all the way down. Yeah, so that now it's like these girder basically that they're hanging off of, including Shredder now and April and the Turtles are all on this like falling girder. And Shredder has the
Yeah,
mutagen now, and he tries to make April fall. And the Turtles do this anti-physics thing where like you know how when you're falling, like all objects fall at the same rate, right?
yes.
Except if you really try, and then you can fall a little bit faster. And so like multiple falling bodies, they each like one-handed catch each other because this movie has absolute faith in the one-handed catch. April's at the end of this now, like one of them is still hanging on by one hand to the girder thing, and they say like swing me towards him. April says that, and then like they're still throwing swords and shit, and she and
Yeah,
swing April, and she goes ah, and she kicks him, and he falls. Shredder finally he falls, and he falls all the way to the ground in the middle of a crowd of New Yorkers, creates this crater.
yeah.
And I gotta say, I am so proud, superhero movie New Yorkers. They see shit falling, they take one step back. That's all they do. They are made of tough stuff. These guys, I love them.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you've seen Spider-Man and the Avengers do all that shit,
Yeah, it's just yeah. You don't have to. Nobody runs. You don't have to run.
yeah, they're not concerned about Shredder. He's a nobody.
They're still falling somehow. I do not understand this scene
this
either.
this whole part where the scaffolding they're on snaps off,
Yeah,
they start falling, and it kind of rolls. I get that like hitting buildings on the way down is kind of like softening its fall, so they're not just completely plummeting. But then Raphael has that whole.
this
They're
whole
like,
like emotional speech.
"Do you
Yeah,
have anything you want to say? We're about to die. Do all of you have something you want to say?" And Raphael is able to bring out this 5 minute long fucking monologue
I
as
know.
they are falling, like their equilibrium shifting as this thing topples end over end, and is bouncing off all this shit.
And at the end of that, yeah, falling is just eternity. And he gives that whole speech. And then there's an actual needle scratch sound
Yeah.
in a movie, which I didn't think they actually did. I thought that was just shitty trailer stuff. But it turns out it's shitty movie stuff too. And somehow the Six Flags ride that they were on has come to a complete stop. They are totally fine. They're just on
It's
the
like all of
ground
a sudden they're just like standing on the ground, and it's like, oh yeah, we stopped.
and they're fine.
Like I think one of them literally says we've stopped.
Yeah. And then I guess they all just run down into the sewer. And that's it.
And yeah, April has no like trauma from any of this. She's
Yeah.
able to just react and go on like she was.
Yeah, she dives down the sewer as well. So they're all with Splinter. It's over. Thank God it's over. They put some mutagen into Splinter and he's alive, I guess. And now for the end of the character arc, Splinter says, obviously you were ready. It was just me. I wasn't ready to let you go. And all you needed was to discover that your true power lies in believing in one another. Which is my whole thing, by the way. That's what I always say. Splinter
Yeah.
and I are in complete agreement.
I am so like shell shocked by the sheer amount of sensory overload
I
at this
know.
point.
We're almost done. We are almost done. It is nighttime. It is the finale. April's on a bike. Vern's leaning up against a car. He does a little bit more like hitting on her stuff. And then the
Yeah.
turtles show up in their own weird little car that they made.
Which is the toy.
Yeah.
It's
DJ Mikey in the house. So there's that. Somebody says that's what family's for, Raphael, I guess. And
yeah.
then that's it.
They blow up Vern's new
Oh,
car.
yeah. And then they have a rocket launcher. Yeah. That blows
Yeah.
up Vern's car.
Because that's the thing, is Mikey's still trying to figure out all the buttons, so he accidentally blows up Vern's new car.
Why
that
would they
he's-
have a rocket launcher? They're ninjas.
Yeah,
Everyone just has a rocket launcher.
they have a rocket launcher, I guess, because they're teenagers, and teenagers would think putting a rocket launcher in their car is
It's
awesome.
cool. Yeah. Which I guess it is technically. Yeah. And so they drive away. And April
In the
smiles.
toy
And
that nobody bought.
look what's happening to our lives. And then knock knock, you're about to get shell shocked. Juicy J, Ty Dolla Sign, and Wiz Khalifa featuring Kill the Noise in Mad Sonic. There's a lot of people involved in this tune. The hit song
Yeah.
Shell Shocked, which got to 84 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it went platinum.
Really?
And it is terrible. Yes.
That's surprising. You wouldn't think a novelty movie soundtrack song could perform like that
Went
these days.
platinum. I know. All right. And that is the end of the movie. Final score: 6 go go goes, 1 move move move, 0 drive drive drives, which is a little disappointing. I expect in a movie with a 4.5 minute sliding down a mountain sequence, you get at least a couple of drive drive drives.
Yeah,
But you and we're going to have to wait for the sequel. Do you want to talk about toys?
sure.
So the toys, they say Ninja Turtles instead of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
which is annoying.
Well, because that was the vision that they were finally able to make reality on the toy shelves.
It's hard actually. It's, so often with these movies, like the toys make for an interesting conversation, but these are like things that kind of just already were like they were toys well before the movie came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
We got an April O'Neil toy, which is nice. And then besides that, it's basically everything you expect. There's an evolution of Leonardo and an evolution of Raphael set where you
Yeah.
get like a little baby turtle, and then you get the mid-teen version, and then you get the full ones.
Yeah. And I mean, it would have been cool if the little kid turtles looked cool, but they're
But they
still these
don't.
grotesque homunculi.
Yeah. Did you buy any of these?
No, 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 not at all.
Because
I hated this movie from the second I saw the first images of it,
yeah,
just because of what they did to the design of the turtles. It's like I said, I love Ninja
I
Turtles
know.
so much. And a huge part of that is because they're really cute in every incarnation,
Except for this one.
except for this one where they decided to make them giant monstrous Shreks.
Yeah, and the toys kind of just continue that, and so it's not very
Yeah.
attractive. They made the Turtle Assault van, which is just the thing that they're driving at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then they made Ninja Combat Gear.
Which, okay, cool. They pretty much just took old
Yeah,
Ninja Turtle toys
yeah,
and
little masks and little sides and stuff. Yeah, the toys are not very impressive.
no. Playmates usually has a decent track record of making cool Ninja Turtles toys,
Yeah.
and this movie just lent nothing to it.
All right, so I have a question.
Yes.
What are you looking for in a Teenage
In a
Mutant
Ninja Turtles
in a
movie,
Ninja Turtles movie?
I am looking for at least some kind of, if not even adherence to what came before. Because, it's like I said, Nickelodeon did a new animated show a few years after this,
Mhm.
and it was a pretty big departure.
Yeah.
But it was also charming and funny and had a lot of really cool, like the designs of the turtles were very different. They had kind of more of like a Batman the Animated Series look going for them.
Oh yeah.
And the animation in it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I would recommend any animation fan watch Rise of the TMNT just for the animation itself. Way much better than a TV cartoon has any right to be. But what am I looking for? I mean, I'm looking for something that's like charming. The turtles should be nice to look at
Yeah.
rather than these gross lip beasts. You know what I mean?
I do.
Like, I don't know why they're designed. Well, I mean, I do. It's Michael Bay, and he just has to ruin everything he touches.
Yes.
I'm looking for something that's maybe a little bit more small scale.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The Ninja Turtles are kind of they are their universe's version of the street level crime fighters for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first movie, the first 90s Turtles movie got that perfectly.
Yeah.
And I get, even if you're doing like an adaptation of the 80s cartoon, make it more fun. There was so little that was fun about this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had a couple little microscopic moments, like when the turtles got stuck in the tunnel, when they tripped and fell off the railing at the same time.
Yeah, the elevator. Yeah, the mercenaries. I would say the mercenaries are just the worst.
They really are.
They're so obvious. It's so just like on the nose, not really ninja, like didn't really fit in with anything. And it's just like, well, we just gotta have a whole bunch of guys with machine guns and rocket launchers in our movie, and like not really for any good reason.
No, I mean every other iteration makes the foot soldiers these cool ninjas.
Yeah.
Like actual ninjas. They're not a ninja clan if they're just all machine gun toting mercenaries.
Yeah, they're just dudes.
Yeah. So this movie had nothing. It had nothing. What I want from a Ninja Turtles movie is everything the opposite of this.
Well, hopefully that's what we're going to get soon.
Oh, I cannot wait for the new animated movie to come out. It looks...
Yeah. This is now, just so folks know, like when we're recording this, we're what, like a week and a half away from the new movie coming out?
Yeah.
And one thing that I like is that, you know, in this, Sax and Shredder are such a mess. And part of that is like that it should have been one character, and that having Shredder in charge of this didn't make any goddamn sense. But the whole plan in the first place wouldn't have made any sense. And it didn't have anything to do with their character journeys. And something that I like, which I've just seen in the trailer so far for Mutant Mayhem, is that the villains are mutants who are like going to fight for a mutant's place in society.
Because humans are terrible.
And that actually like connects to this thing of who the characters are and their own journey to like come out of the sewers and out of the shadows and be proud of their contribution to society. The villains actually like have something that connects directly to that.
Right.
As a concept.
It's a coherent story.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm looking forward to that too. Sloan, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Where can people find you?
Go to hauntwares.com and buy something.
It's a great place. Oh, I didn't mention there's the shirt that I saw when I looked at it just now that I really liked is the bat. There's a bat flying kind of towards, and then it has a little word balloon and it says bat.
Yeah.
Which I love.
It's a riff on what we do in the shadows.
Yeah.
Which is also one of my favorite things right now.
Yeah.
So,
and it's gorgeous. That's just a lovely shirt. So I just wanted to mention that if people want to go and look for that, it's hilarious.
I thank you.
Yes. For more comedy about the history of superhero movies, you can go to the blog at superheroeseveryday.com. If you like the show, please leave a review, or you could reach me on Twitter, Facebook, or on the blog. But seriously, please tell the people in your life about this show. Here's what's coming up in the next episode. Next week on the podcast, I'm joined by Stuart Jipp from the retro video games podcast Retronauts to discuss the 2003 political thriller X2 X-Men United. But Storm's there, and she is lecturing a bunch of kids about evolution as if they ever talk about anything else.
God, I wish I had that power. Of all the powers, I wish I was Iceman. I would never build like a shitty ice bridge and go surfing on it or like he does, but I would just chill people's drinks and everyone would love me.
What part of your mind is a beehive do you not understand, Wolverine?
It's a truly inept way of resolving the situation, when the correct way to do it would be simply to kill the children and hide their bodies, you know?
And so here's where we get the information that Stryker invented Wolverine, or at least like gave him the adamantium skeleton. And I have a question about Stryker, which is, why did he do that? All right, get excited for that and come back next week for the Superheroes Everyday podcast. Thanks for listening. Love you. Bye.
Hey, who wants to play Buck Buck?
Buck Buck.
What?
Buck Buck. Tony on a pony. Some people call it Johnny on a rock.
Wait. Yeah, let's play Buck Buck.